In a world put on hold by COVID-19, the ACO reshuffled the calendar for the 2020 European Le Mans Series. After a 3-month delay, the first round was at Paul Ricard. In LMGTE, it's a racing classic, a duel between Ferrari and Porsche. The title race wide open as Lussich Racing, the 2019 champions, had not returned to defend their crown. Only two teams, the 55 Spirit to Race and the 83 Iron Dames, had retained their driver lineups. Among the favourites were the 77 Proton Competition Porsche, the 66 JMW Ferrari and the 74 Ferrari from Kessel Racing. And there was a touch of glamour as Proton Competition welcomed Hollywood superstar Michael Fassbender in car 93. The actor making his ELMS debut, part of his project and dream to race in the Le Mans 24 Hours. A new generation of LMP3 cars was introduced with a chassis upgrade, the introduction of traction control and engine power boosted to 455 brake horsepower. Euro International, the reigning champions, were back to defend their title with a new lineup based around Finnish ace Nico Kari. For their part, inter-Europol competitions, Martin Hipper and Nigel Moore were out to extract some revenge. Another serious contender, the number 4 DKR engineering machine with Lawrence Hoare and Francois Kierman, the 2019 Michelin Le Mans Cup champions. In LMP2, a lineup change for last season's champions EDEC, with Britain Richard Bradley replacing Mexico's Mimo Rojas. Determined to bounce back from last year's defeat, there were two new teammates in G-Drive for Roman Rusinov, LMP3 Michelin Le Mans Cup title holder Mikkel Jensen and Flying Dutchman Nick de Vries. Third and fourth in 2018, Graf Racing's number 39 crew and the number 22 car from United Autosports both looked to be serious title contenders. "36 cars roll round towards the start. Phil Hansen, United Autosports car number 22, is the pole man pacing the field with Mikkel Jensen alongside for G-Drive. Will Owen of United Autosports and Paul Lafargue from Champions EDEC on row 2 of the grid. And after a 3-month delay, everybody is desperate to get the season underway.
We have started the 4 hours of Le Castellet.
Poleman Phil Hansen controlling the inside line down to turn 1. Around the outside, Mikkel Jensen can't find a way through, slots into second. It's United in third, EDEC in fourth. In the pack, the red car of Tatiana Calderon, the Colombian driver racing for the Richard Mille Racing Team, part of the first all-female LMP2 crew. American Catherine Legg broke her leg crashing in the official test day and cannot race. United leading and in third place, the G-Drive car and Mikkel Jensen between the two United Autosport cars. Champions EDEC looking for a podium finish to start their title defence. 4 hours around the hot, fast Paul Ricard circuit. No drama so far for LMP3 pole sitter Tom Gamble. He leads the class for United Autosports in car number 2. Change for the lead in GTE. Duncan Cameron, the 55 Spirit of Race Ferrari, squeezing past Mikhail Broniszewski in the 74 Kessel Racing Ferrari to take the lead. Phil Hansen starting 2020 as the car ended 2019 in the lead for United Autosports. Sister 32 car in third. Mikhail Broniszewski down the Mistral straight and up to senior on the outside of Duncan Cameron. Cameron with the inside line, but the grip is on the outside. Broniszewski back in front. Oh, drama in LMP3. Tony Wells, the rear wing coming off the Nielsen racing car, and a huge spin. Luckily, nothing to hit out there. Paul Lafargue going off in the EDEC Sport. Electrical failure for Paul Lafargue. Try and reset it, come back to the box. Well, it's a disaster for the champions.
Car number 7474, have a drive-through for a jump start.
And bad news for a challenger in GTE. EDEC in the garage, and Michael Fassbender in the barriers in the 93 Proton competition Porsche. Real Team Racing's Esteban Garcia stopped dead in front of him in his prototype, left him with nowhere to go.
Drive-through penalty car 8 for causing an incident with car 93.
And more trouble for Paul Lafargue, the EDEC Sport car stopping on its way back to the pits. Number 32, United Autosports, Will Owen in the lead. Phil Hansen, his teammate, had to pit because of a puncture. And the 22 car now chasing to make up lost ground. A stunning move by Algarve Pro's John Lancaster in traffic around the outside of Roman Rusinov in the G drive to take third.
Wow, mate, what a drive, P3, look at them, manage your tires.
Disaster for the GTE leader Duncan Cameron, 20th place overall, and contact in traffic has put him off in the final sector of the lap. Hard into the barriers, they're out of the race after contact with Konstantin Tereshchenko. Battle for fourth place, Julian Canal steaming up behind Dennis Anderson in the high-class car, and the Panis racing driver goes straight by down the Mistral. Anderson fighting back up to the awesome senior, but can't make a way through. But there's trouble in store for Julian Canal exiting the final corner. Watch the left rear wheel. Total breakage of the suspension, and the car spears off into the barriers.
Pit entry closed, we are under safety car.
Julian Canal just a passenger in that short, hard trip into the barriers. Into the second half of the 4-hour race, and a battle for supremacy between the 32 and 22 United Autosports cars. Will Owen leading, Felipe Albuquerque chasing. Battle for second place shaping up as Mikkel Jensen goes by Job van Uitert, who's now taken over the 32 United car. Jensen for G-Drive. And as they battle on, race leader Phil Hansen is out in the number 22 United Autosport car. Mikkel Jensen handing over to FIA Formula 2 champion Nick de Vries at G-Drive. And that puts Hansen back into the race lead in the closing stages. An hour remaining. Pit stop for Job van Uitert at the 32 team. United Autosports as smooth and polished as ever. And so too in comes 22. Phil Hansen remains in. Once they've all cycled through the pits, Phil Hansen back in front in the number 22 United Autosport car. And the battle for second features his teammate Joop van Uitert and again Nick de Vries. It's an all-Dutch driver battle. United just ahead of G-Drive. But Van Uitert drifts out wide in traffic and de Vries pounces immediately. Could it be that G-Drive have a chance of a win? A final splash of fuel for United's 22 car, and that puts Nick de Vries into the lead. But not for long, the Dutchman also needs fuel. He'll rejoin in third behind 32 Joop van Uitert and 39 Thomas Laurent Vergraaf, but ahead of Phil Hansen. LMP3 lead battle, car number 2, Wayne Boyd for United, 13 Nigel Moore for Inter-Europol competition. Very close in traffic, this one could go either way. Overall race leader for United Autosports, Joop van Uitert, and he's got a handy margin. In GTE, it's the 77 Proton competition Porsche, Alessio Picariello, running down the laps to the flag. Joop van Uitert about to redeem himself after losing the 2019 LMP title at the season finale in Portimao with G-Drive. His teammate Alex Brundle, the 2016 ELMS LMP3 champion, wins his first LMP2 race of the series. Joop van Uitert and United Autosport win the 4 hours of Le Castellet. In GTE, the 77 Proton team, Christian Ried with Michele Beretta and Alessio Picariello, 2 new teammates, claim victory first time out. And United Autosport also win in LMP3 with the number 2 Ligier, Wayne Boyd, taking it to the flag. Joop van Uitert celebrates his win for United.
I mean, we're really delighted. But full credit to the team and my two teammates. The team gave us just an absolutely amazing car over the race stint.
GTE winner Alessio Picariello celebrates with teammates Michele Beretta and boss Christian Ried.
We are a good car, very good car, We had a good strategy. We did a lot of long runs during the test days. So engineers and all the team did a great job.
A great job too by United Autosports. For the 3rd time they win LMP2 and LMP3 in the same race.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal race. I mean, all of us had great pace, so it was. We knew it was going to be a good race, but it was certainly made a lot tougher at the end because Wayne did a fantastic stint at the end.
Everything about 2020 is different. Just the winners of each class on the podium, face masks and social distancing, part of the COVID procedure. But as a result of a huge amount of planning, hard work and goodwill, the 2020 ELMS season was finally underway. Round 2 in August at Spa-Francorchamps. A United dominant in qualifying. 22, Phil Hansen on pole. Teammate Will Owen alongside in 32.
We have started the 4 hours of Spa.
United on pole in LMP3 as well. Phil Hansen holding the lead into the first corner ahead of Will Owen. Mikkel Jensen in the G-Drive car in 3rd. Good start from 8th on the grid for Paul Lafargue. The champions Edek Sport had a disaster at Paul Ricard, but he is up to 5th position early on, squeezing by the Algarve Pro car into Eau Rouge. Out of Rédillon, a great run for Antonin Borger, the cool racing driver, picking up 2 spots, and Anthony Davidson challenging the G-Drive car for 3rd place. The Jota Sport car warming up for the following weekend's World Endurance Race. It's a United 1-2, but Mikkel Jensen for G-Drive gets back into third, leaving Ant Davidson to deal with Paul Lafargue and Antonin Borger. Further back, a dive bomb for 7th place, Jonathan Hershey finally getting by Henning Enquist. Off at Les Combes, Manuela Gosner for the Iron Lynx 83 Ferrari, hit from behind by JMW's Rodrigo Sales.
Drive-through penalty, car number 66 for causing a contact with another car.
Race 1 winner Will Owen for United Autosports in 3rd place, heading down into Eau Rouge behind the G-Drive car. Number 22 still out front. Into Europol's Martin Hipper in the barriers. The replay shows that Rob Hodes in the number 10 Nielsen car in front of him locks up and half spins, and Hipper has nowhere to go.
We are under safety car.
Back to green flag racing, the safety car closing Mikkel Jensen right up on Phil Hansen, and the G-Drive car goes by up the long Kemmel Straight. United 2nd and 3rd ahead of Jota and Cool Racing, and it's door handle to door handle for 6th. All trouble down at the bottom of the circuit. Claudio Schiavone heavily into the barriers. Looks like there was contact with one of the leaders.
Stop and go penalty on car 32 for causing a collision with car 60.
Claudio Schiavone, entirely the innocent party, left to rue what might have been. G-Drive react immediately and bring the car into the pits.
Leader to slow down, we are under safety car.
Clear up operations proceed. As we go back to green flag racing, it is Mikkel Jensen who leads the race. United Autosports 2nd and 3rd despite that penalty. Jonathan Hershey battling with Will Owen up the Kemmel Straight. A little bit of contact between the two of them, but around the outside goes Hershey in the Duquesne car. Leader in GTE, Proton Competitions, Alessio Picariello. Despite his very Italian name, he is Belgian, racing here at home. 22 United Autosports, Phil Hansen out, Felipe Albuquerque takes over in the pit lane. And United's 32 car also pits, Job van Uytert taking over the car from Will Owen. Driver change time at G-Drive. Mikkel Jensen hands over to Roman Rusinov, and the LMP3 leader comes in. United Autosports number 2 takes on Tom Gamble. As they get into the stints, Felipe Albuquerque runs down the race leader Roman Rusinov and dives by at the bus stop to put the 22 United car in front. Drama for our Le Castellet winners. Michele Beretta having a huge spin for the Proton 77 car. A puncture pitching him sideways. Fortunately, didn't hit anything. Mikkel Jensen back in the G-Drive car. And inside the final hour, challenging Felipe Albuquerque for the lead. G-Drive once more squeezing in front of United Autosports. And there's more drama in store. Yes, it's August. Yes, it's the middle of summer, but it wouldn't be Spa without
The track is now declared a wet track.
a little bit of rain. And Mikkel Jensen in the lead G-Drive car is off. Heavily into the barriers. Finds that the grip level is not what he expected.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
G-Drive are out.
Full course yellow removed.
New race leader, number 22 United Autosports, Phil Hansen. They stayed on slicks. It was just a brief shower. There's no guarantee it'll remain dry from here on in. Fantastic action between Edic Sport and United Autosports number 32 car. Richard Bradley dives to the inside of fellow Brit Alex Brundle to grab 7th. Brundle's forced out wide but keeps his foot in. Comes back on and down the hill into Eau Rouge. Boxes Bradley in behind a Porsche. Bradley squeezes through but Brundle holds the spot. That's quite some edge of the seat racing. In the 22 United Autosport car, a comfortable lead. Phil Hansen pits for the final time. And Hansen heads to United's second win. 32-1 in France, this time 22. Phil Hansen and Felipe Albuquerque with the second place at Le Castellet and victory now. They are the championship leaders. In the battle for second, Tristan Gomedy chasing Thomas Laurent in the Graf Racing 29 car loops round into a spin. Will Stevens wasn't far behind. He inherits third for Panis Racing just before the final corner of the race. Graf and Panis join United's 22 car on the podium. And in LMP3, it's a second consecutive win for Wayne Boyd, Rob Weldon and Tom Gamble in United's number 2 machine. David Perel takes the GTE win in the 74 Kessel Racing Ferrari as they too take the category lead. Remarkably, it's a third straight Spa win for Philip Albuquerque and Phil Hansen.
Spa has always been good to us. I mean, we've won here 3 years in a row. I love this place for that. It was an eventful race with the rain and the team did an excellent job.
Kessel Racing's GTE win didn't come easy either, and that makes it all the sweeter.
Yeah, it wasn't as smooth sailing as we would have liked. Michael had a bit of a tough start, dropped back a bit, but we told him just to remain calm, which he did. No mistakes. And then Gomez, it's his first time in ELMS, also did a great middle stint. Very happy, first win in the ELMS, and yeah, big thanks to Kessel.
In LMP3, it's all about twos. 2 races, 2 poles and 2 wins for the number 2 United Autosports car.
Unbelievable, to be fair. I have to give full credit to Rob and Tom. At the end there, I just sort of jumped in as a formality, to be honest. These boys done the hard work.
A wet track for Paul Ricard and a safety car start for round 3 of the 2020 ELMS. Paul Ricard stepping in at the last minute because Barcelona was unable to host. 34 cars on the grid, racing from day to night. Phil Hansen on pole ahead of Roman Rusinov, but there is no 93 Porsche. The Proton competition car badly damaged in qualifying in the morning. Michael Fassbender losing control at high speed. Coming on to the Mistral straight, vital to carry lots of speed, but the Porsche stepping out and leaving him nowhere to go.
Safety car instructed to go at full speed. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. Safety car in the pits, the track has gone green, no overtaking before the line.
Well, the race will definitely go from day to night, but will it go from wet to dry? As they get to line, Phil Hansen sprints away Roman Rusinov in second place, coming under pressure from Konstantin Tereshenko in the Duquesne car in third. Spray obliterating the view, and down through the S's there is only one even partly dry line. Stepping offline in these conditions, it'll be like heading out onto the ice. With a great run onto the Mistral straight, Konstantin Tereshenko breezes by fellow Russian Roman Rusinov to grab second. Leading LMP3, the familiar sight of number 2 from United Autosport, but Rob Weldon didn't start on pole. Esteban Garcia did for Real Team Racing. Andrew Bentley in third for United in their number 3 car. Number 15, James Dayson, RLR M Sport in fourth. Christian Reed leading in the wet weather conditions for Proton competition. United stacking their LMP2 cars, 22 and 32, stopping together. Battle for the lead, Mikkel Jensen for G-Drive and Nico Lapierre for Cool Racing. Didn't find the grip on the outside line that he was expecting. And Mikkel Jensen, the Dane, goes by the veteran Frenchman. Battle for fourth place. It's an all-Graf affair. Maxime Robin, number 9, squeezing inside Eric Trouillet in the number 5 car. Another battle of French teams for third place. Julien Canal for Panis, just ahead of Konstantin Tereshenko. But Tereshenko again in the Duquesne team car, getting a flying run and passing on the Mistral. LMP3 battle for second place. The Graf Racing number 9 car, Maxime Robin, inside Jacopo Barato in the Euro International machine. And Robin squeezes by. Up to second he goes. Trouble for Graf's number 5 LMP2 car, a left rear puncture. And the car shredding its tyre under Louis Sanjuan as he struggles back to the pits, having taken over from Eric Trouillet. But with all that debris on the straight, the safety car is scrambled for clear-up. Back to green, and Sophia Flörsch in the red Richard Mille Racing Team car putting a lap on Will Owen in the United Autosports number 32 car. He's down in 13th, and don't forget 32 was the winner last time out in Le Castellet. Race leader Mikkel Jensen in the pits for G-Drive. Sophia Flörsch also for the Richard Mille Racing Team, the young German F3 star, joining Beitz Gewisser in the all-female crew. Halfway through the race, Twilight is here. Nicolas Jamin leading for Panis by 25 seconds over Algarve Pro's Simon Trummer. GT class leader, and it's the Iron Dames number 83 Ferrari, Rahel Frey at the wheel. Driver changeover, Mikkel Jensen handing to Jean-Eric Verne at G-Drive. Race leader Phil Hansen, still sharing with Felipe Albuquerque, winner of the race in Spa. And the championship leaders in the pits. As the pit stops cycle through, Nicolas Jamin back in front for Panis Racing. But the onboard view shows that with the darkness and the few lights, the wet track and runoff areas make picking out your markers a real hazard. Drama suddenly for Jean-Eric Verne, second place for the G-Drive car. And it all came about at turn 1. Under braking, the car just swaps ends on him. At least he doesn't hit anything.
Are you all okay, mate? Yeah, I lost it on the brake.
No real harm done there then.
Pit entry closed, we are under safety car. Leader, slow down.
And here's why. The Algarve Pro car on its roof, scrambling back over the barriers now. Rescue has arrived is driver Loic Duval, so he is okay, even if the car is very second-hand. And that's a relief for team manager Samantha Cox on the left-hand side. So how on earth did he end up upside down? With Vincent Capilliere, LMP3 cars collide in front. Capilliere moves left to avoid the spin-up, and Loic Duval rides over the back of his car and upside down into the tyre wall. And there's more drama. Colin Noble for Nielsen was leading LMP3. He's got no lights and seemingly no power in the darkness.
Safety car is in the pits, lights are green, no overtaking before the line.
Back to green flag racing for the last 50 minutes of this crazy race. And it's all darkness in the damp. In GTE, the race leader is the Spirit of Race Ferrari number 55, Matt Griffin at the wheel, having shared with Duncan Cameron and Aaron Scott. Hoping for a better result here. Pit stops for the leaders, Jean-Eric Verne in G-Drive and Philippe Albuquerque also in the number 22 United Autosports car. 57-second stop for G-Drive, but 65 for United, and that means a lead change.
We are P1.
In fact, it's better than that. They are the leaders, but United Autosports 22 car comes out in third. G-Drive are ecstatic. Panis Racing, the number 31 car in second place. Will Stevens, ex-Grand Prix ace, under pressure from Philippe Albuquerque. And Albuquerque needs to watch his mirrors as well. The team will have told him that the lights behind are those of class rival Thomas Laurent. Past goes Albuquerque, and then Will Stevens under pressure from Laurent. The Graf Racing driver down the inside completes the pass he started in senior. Panis Racing down to 4th position. But any mistake in these conditions will be punished. Closing stages, final lap or two. Jean-Eric Verne in traffic with Philippe Albuquerque now right behind him, and onto the Mistral straight, gets held up behind one of the Ferraris. And that lift off the throttle briefly to avoid a collision has cost him the lead. Albuquerque sweeps by in traffic, and into senior he is the new race leader with under 4 minutes to go. Into the final corner for Philippe Albuquerque. It is going to be a 2nd straight win for the number 22 United Autosports car, a 3rd straight win for the team after 32-1 here, first time out. Despite a mistake on the tyre strategy, United Autosport have pulled it out of the bag again. Matt Griffin heading to victory in the 55 Spirit of Race Ferrari. They were 3rd in Spa and now claim the first win of their 2020 season. LMP3 leader Esteban Garcia for Real Team Racing in traffic. His 2nd ELMS season and a first win for the Swiss driver. Great work by Phil Hansen and Philippe Albuquerque.
We did a mistake, we have to admit that, with the tires, and Phil did a brilliant job with the slicks in a damp condition, and I just couldn't believe that I was catching P1.
For Spirit of Race, it's the joy of victory for Aaron Scott, Duncan Cameron and Matt Griffin.
Honestly, the star of the race for us was Duncan, who started in the most difficult conditions. He was the fastest bronze driver by a mile.
A huge result for Real Team Racing and Swiss driver Esteban Garcia.
It's not only the first win of the season, for me it's the first win of my life, in LMS. So I'm so happy, and I must say that it's an enormous emotion.
A slightly different looking podium with Real Team triumphant in LMP3, Spirit Race in GTE, but again, it's United Autosports who come out on top in LMP2.
Car on the right is on slicks, he's on wet.
Mechanics, please start clearing the grid. We are under 1 minute to start the formation lap for the 4 hours of Monza.
The 4 hours of Monza gets underway with a green flag lap behind the leading car to suss out the conditions for the 4th and penultimate race. The track's been declared wet, but it is forecast to dry quickly. United Autosports have pole with Phil Hansen. On his left, Roman Rusinov of G-Drive, Jonathan Hershey for Duquesne, and Antonin Borger for Cool Racing make up row 2. 34 cars ready to take on 4 hours at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, Italy's Temple of Speed.
Started the 4 hours of Monza.
Rusinov very gingerly away, and that leaves Jonathan Hershey from 3rd, trying to go around the outside of Phil Hansen. Huge lock-up from the United Autosports driver, and turned around is the G-Drive car. That looked like a contact from behind, and he's beached on the curbs. Lots of drivers going straight on as the leader Jonathan Hershey comes down to the Roger. Antonin Borger in 2nd, 32 Will Owen in 3rd. There's the RLR M Sport car of James Dayson. He's stranded, as is the G-Drive car. Only one thing for it.
Pit entry closed, safety car deployed.
Let's take a look at that start again with Phil Hansen on the dry-ish side, but a huge lock-up. And over the curbs he goes, only just about escaping the gravel trap. A very slow rally crossing drive back to terra firma cost him a huge amount of time. Ready to go back to green flag racing, Jonathan Hershey leading. Nicolas Jamin has hit him. Nicolas Jamin right behind in the 31 Panis car, and bodywork flying off, tyre smoke as well. Too late to go into the pits. They go back to green. Jonathan Hershey will have damage at the back. He's already trying to find water to cool the tyres. And the Panis car could be in trouble. Well, 2 damaged cars at the front. This should be easy pickings for the 37 Cool Racing entry. Hershey slow out of the Rettifilio. Jamin is right there. Now he's challenging Jonathan Hershey down to Ascari. Not much left of the left front corner. Bits flying off everywhere. He still drives around the outside. Astonishing pass from Nicolas Jamin. How on earth did he do that in very mixed conditions? That's just ridiculous. Jamin, though, into the pits, accepting the inevitable new nose for Panis. But boy, have they got some speed. Jonathan Hershey leading. Anders Fjordback goes by Antonin Borger. Borger in the 37 Cool Racing car couldn't take advantage of the damaged machines in front. Fjordback for high class though on a charge. Trying to get by the Duquesne car and a huge tank slapper. It swaps ends on Jonathan Hershey. G-Drive in the pits. This is unscheduled. Less than half an hour into the race, back into the garage, reports of a cooling issue. Into Europol competitions, Martin Hipper leading in LMP3, the car he's sharing with Dino Lunardi. Anders Fjordback, the race leader, into the pit lane for routine service. Henning Enquist also in from second place in the Algarve Pro number 24 car. And that leaves the Portuguese team's number 25 machine as the race leader, John Falp at the wheel. Super tight at the top of GTE, Duncan Cameron leading in a 55 Spirited Race Ferrari. It's a dead heat under brakes, but through comes the 77 Proton Competition Porsche. Alessio Picariello just holding off Nicola Cade for Kessel Racing. Applause from the Proton team. And Picariello is on a real charge at Ferrari's home track. The Porsche takes the lead from Duncan Cameron in the Parabolica. Battle for 5th place, 31 Julien Canal under pressure from Konstantin Terashenko. Oh, very close indeed into the Parabolica. Julien Canal hangs on to 5th. Championship leaders in the pit lane, 22 United Autosport car. After that lock-up at the start cost them ground, they have fought back well. Philippe Albuquerque bringing the car in from 3rd spot. LMP2 battle for 9th place. The green and yellow is Matevos Isakayan for Inter Europol and fellow Russian Konstantin Terashenko right behind for Duquesne. As they go by Garrett Grist, the engine cover blows off the back of the Inter Europol car and Grist spins in his shock. They're going to have to recover the debris. Only one thing for it. Clear up operations by the marshals under the cover of a full course yellow.
Full course yellow removed. Full course yellow removed.
And somehow back in front once more, number 22 from United Autosports, Philippe Albuquerque, the race leader. In GTE, Kessel Racing's number 74 Ferrari is getting stronger and stronger as the season progresses. David Perel leading by 38 seconds from Michele Beretta in the 77 Proton Competition Porsche, with the Iron Dames in 3rd. Anders Fjordback in the pits. The high-class driver will rejoin in 3rd behind the 2 United cars. Phil Hansen and Alex Brundle. LMP3 leader Dino Lunardi for Inter Europol competition, 11.5 seconds ahead of United Autosports number 2 car, Tom Gamble. Final pit stop for Phil Hansen. And let's see if they have managed to cover off Anders Fjordbak and Ben Hanley. Through come the High Class and the Dragon Speed car. So the number 22 machine drops down the order. Now the race is on, 30 minutes to get it won as Hanley goes by Fjordbak. Alex Brundle into the pits in 32. Fjordbak and Ben Hanley will soon follow. There's Ben Hanley for Dragon Speed. Final stop for them. And 2 for Anders Fjordbak and High Class. Final lap of the race for Phil Hansen. The crew of the number 22 car have won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. They've become World Endurance Champions, and with victory in Monza, they become the European Le Mans Series champions. An unprecedented season Grand Slam for Phil Hansen, Philippe Albuquerque, and United Autosports. And what's more, the number 32 car gets second. LMP3 goes to Dino Lunardi, Martin Hipper and Inter Europol. Tiziana Borghi, Kessel Racing's team manager, has her fingers crossed. And David Perel lets her breathe again. A second win of the season for the 74 Ferrari. Joy for the undoubted masters of LMP2 in 2020, Phil Hansen and Philippe Albuquerque.
I'm speechless, to be honest. It's just a dream. I'll have this guy to the rest of my life in my memory, because I think what we did is just incredible. Phil, unremarkable whole season, amazing job. Third win of the year in ELMS, and we win it before the last race. It's just congratulations to United.
A huge moment too for Inter Europol competition.
The first win is always very, very good. Finally, we had a few attempts and always had some little problems. Now we had a perfect strategy from our engineer, a very good start, and it finally paid off.
The little team that dreamed big finally get their first ELMS win. And there was jubilation too for Kessel Racing and David Perel.
Huge credit to the team, because they managed to call on both full course yellows the pit stop just in time. We're at the right place at the right time. The team made the right calls, and that's what's required in a race like this. It's a race of strategy and not just pace.
Welcome to Portimao. There is no better place to finish the season.
Portugal's Portimao International Circuit, the traditional end of season finale, but on the 1st of November, it'll be a pivotal race. The GTE and LMP3 titles remain open. In GTE, it'll be a battle between the 74 Kessel Racing Ferrari and the 77 Proton Competition Porsche. In LMP3, 4 teams in the hunt. The number 2 from United Autosports, battling Inter Europol, Real Team and Euro International.
1 minute board on the grid. Under 1 minute to start the formation lap for 4 hours. Green flag, start of the formation lap. Green flag, start of the formation lap.
36 cars follow 4-time Le Mans winner Yannick Dalmas in the leading car. On pole, Will Owen in the number 32 United Autosport. Julien Canal for Panis Barthez alongside. Row 2 Cool Racing's Alex Coigny and Paul Lafargue from EDEC Sport. And the new champions, Phil Hansen starting 22 with Roman Rusinov in the G-Drive alongside him on row 3. And we are ready to go green for the final time in 2020.
We have started the 4 hours of Portimao.
Will Owen from pole leading them down the hill into the first turn as it fans out behind him. Contact between the Panis car and Roman Rusinov, but the G-Drive driver goes around the outside. A half spin from Alex Coigny. And that catches out 22 Phil Hansen, but he is still going. G-Drive leading up the hill from United. Panis in third. Algarve Pro Racing at home in fourth place. Down to the hairpin for the first time, Konstantin Tereshchenko sending it down the inside of Paul Lafargue in the EDEC Sport car. They spend a lot of time racing each other. On board with Will Owen in the first corner. And the big lock-up there from Alex Quani half spins and just tags the nose of 22. Rino Mastronardi leads in GTE, replacing Claudio Schiavone in the 60 Iron Lynx car ahead of Francois Perrodo. Then 83 Manuela Gosner, she's third, ahead of title rivals Mikhail Broniszewski for Kessel and the 77 Proton Porsche. Roman Rusinov, the race leader in G-Drive, but no longer. There is an LMP2 car ahead of him, and it's the United car. Rusinov getting offline, passing the GTE contenders. And Will Owen taking no prisoners as the Russian runs wide, diving through the tiniest of gaps to grab the lead. Battle for third in LMP3, Martin Hipper chasing Wolfgang Triller in the orange and black DKR number 4 car. The Algarve Pro car goes through on the inside, leaves the door open, and Hipper takes advantage, goes by for third place. Battle for seventh, Eric Thuyer with the red, white and blue for Graf. Rob Hodes around the outside for Nielsen. LMP3 action all the way down the field. Leader Will Owen in and out of the pits at United. 26 G-Drive in as well. Rusinov stays in, fuel only for him too, but United get out in front. New race leader though is Konstantin Tereshchenko, the Russian driver in the Duquesne car, doing a slightly different job on the strategy. Leading GTE, Rino Mastronardi pulling away in the number 60 Iron Lynx car that he shares with Sergio Pianazzola and Andrea Piccini. Trouble though for Wolfgang Triller, the DKR car, with what looks like a left rear puncture pulling it apart. Manuela Gosner, the Iron Lynx car, again in trouble. As at Spa, is it contact? She runs out wide. Looks like the car has just died under her, and she'll have to do a Control-Alt-Delete to get it restarted. Battle for third place, Christian Ried for Proton Competition, the challengers for the title, Duncan Cameron for the Spiritor Race Ferrari. This is not enough for the German driver. If he wants the title, he has to win the race. Meanwhile, driver change at Kessel for the number 74 car. Battle for third place in LMP2, Anders Fjordback for high class, getting a good run down the inside of Panis Racing's Julien Canal in the 31 car. And Canal decides not to fight it as the number 10 Nielsen LMP3 car comes out of the pits. Mikkel Jensen for G-Drive now, chasing down Will Owen in the United 32 car for the lead of the race. In the tow, he's going to have to go down the inside late, and he does. Through into the lead. The balance of power swings once again in Portugal. Sergio Pianazzola in the Iron Lynx Ferrari trying to pass Rodrigo Sales, but spins him out.
Stop and go penalty car 60 for the contact with car 66.
Pit stop at G-Drive, Mikkel Jensen, the race leader. In LMP3, Rob Weldon in the pits in the number 2 United Autosports car, again at the top of the timing tower. Battle for second place between the United Autosport teammates, 22 Philippe Albuquerque ahead of 32 Alex Brundle.
Pit entry closed, we are under safety car.
A puncture for Sergio Pianazzola, he's shredding the bodywork, leaving debris everywhere. Back to green, and Alessio Picariello trying to win the title for Proton. He is now the GTE leader, looking to lap one of the back markers. The field now packed with Ferraris. Race leader in the pits. Inside the final hour, Mikkel Jensen handing over to quick Nick de Vries. G-Drive rejoining in third place in LMP2. Pit stops 2 for Philippe Albuquerque. And for Duquesne, this is Jonathan Hershey. And the pit stops cycle the number 26 G-Drive car back to the top, leading the race. LMP3 battle for supremacy. The number 2 United Autosports car again involved. Wayne Boyd not leading though, but running down Esteban Garcia in the Real Team Racing number 8 car. Garcia drifts out wide, loses traction on the gravel, and Boyd grabs the opportunity with both hands. Right along as Garcia drifts wide and gives away the lead.
Leader on the last lap. Teams may come to the pit pole.
Nick de Vries has it all under control. Whether Mikkel Jensen and Roman Rusinov feel as calm remains to be seen, but they're heading to the checkered flag. G-Drive win in Portimao.
Flag 26, checkered flag, on guard 26.
It's a third LMP win of the season for Wayne Boyd and the United Autosports number 2 crew. They seal the championship in fine form. And victory in GT for Alessio Picariello and Proton Competition. They too are champions. G-Drive finally have a win.
It's a really great feeling, because from the beginning of the year we had the fast car, a great team, but we always had something, bad luck, and we have some crashes. But yeah, it's really good to come here and win this race, especially starting from P6. Yeah, great achievement. Yeah, really happy.
United Autosports finish in the top 2 places ahead of G-Drive, Panis, Graf and Duquesne. IDEC Sport, the 2019 champions, only in 9th position. With the GT win goes the title to Christian Reed and ELMS rookie teammates Michele Beretta and Alessio Picariello.
It's amazing. It was a tough race, and congrats also to Kessel and the 74 crew. They did well, and today was not easy. Actually, everybody struggled with the tires, and just to be sure that you'll be safe, and no traffic. But I'm so happy, and Alessio and Mike, they did so great job. So I'm so happy.
Champions in 2018, Proton Competition do it again in 2020, ahead of Kessel Racing, and Spirit of Race in 3rd place by 1 point ahead of the unlucky Iron Dames. It was an epic year for United Autosports. They dominated in LMP2 and also in LMP3.
Fantastic. Obviously, at the end there, it was looking like it was maybe going to have to settle for second, but Wayne gave it, everything, and managed to get the lead, which is fantastic. And obviously, what a nice way to top off the year, but win.
It's a 3rd title for United after winning in 2016 and 17. Into Europol in 2nd for the 3rd year in a row, and Real Team 7th last year up to 3rd ahead of last year's champions Euro International. COVID restrictions meant no gala awards evening, so the 2020 champions received their trophies in the pit lane in front of their peers from ACO President Pierre Fillon. Despite the craziness of 2020 forcing changes of behaviour, of dates and of venues, the European Le Mans Series did what it always does, provide fantastic close racing. So until we all meet again in Barcelona in April 2021 for the new season, take care and stay safe.